like ordinary human beings. The mother and the close relatives of the Lord also struggled with their faith in the reign of God as proclaimed by the Messiah. That is why, my dear friends, out of deep loving concern, they came probably to verify the many things they heard about the Lord. Things like He had no more time to eat. Things like He was out of His mind. Kindly pray over Mark chapter 3 verses 20 to 21. Out of loving concern, they came, perhaps to talk Him out of His radical mission, His radical public ministry, so as not to aggravate the already dangerously growing opposition against the Lord, coming from both spiritual or religious and political spheres of influence. On the surface, my dear friends, it seems that the Lord passed over His blood relatives in favor of the newfound crowd. But if we carefully pull back the curtain of the narrative, we begin to see, and we will realize that the Lord actually appraised family ties as kinship hinged on obedience to the will of God. So wala niya i-reject ang iyahang pamilya. Iyaha hinuong gitagaan og bag-ong kahulugan unsa ang family. Family is based on obedience to the will of God. For our Lord, my dear friends, the condition involved in becoming a member of His family is no longer consanguinity, but to do the will of God. Siguro mangutana ta, how do we go about it? Ang tubag, adto na to makita sa Ebanghelyo sumala ni San Juan, chapter 6, verses 28 to 29. To do God's will is to believe in our Lord Jesus Christ. And not only that, to live our lives according to that belief. John chapter 15 verse 14. Our Lord went on to describe the family as something eternally deeper than any profound yet transient human relationship. Why is that? Because a bond that is created by faith, sustained by it, and held together by it is no short of communion with what God desires for us. So unsay leksyon makuha nato ani, labi na nato mga Pilipinhon nga kanang dako kita gihatag nga importansya sa pamilya o sa matag sakop niini. In a society where family ties are highly valued and even relied heavily upon, we need to caution ourselves from presuming that we have a right to the attention of the Lord simply on the basis that we are Catholic Christians. Di ta magdahom nga natay special treatment madawat di kaniya simply because we belong to His true church. There is, however, my dear friends, a way to get the undivided attention of the Lord. There is a way. Unsaon man, listen to this. We need to hang on His every promise in the way the crowd seated to Him did, thereby rendering ourselves ready to be what He wants and quick to go where He leads. Tinuod ang santos nga ebanghelyo nagsugod in a way nga murag awkward situation. Kabantay mo, awkward kayo na ipamilya nga gusto makikita sa sakop ni ini nga hamili kayo. Pero ang gipangita miingon mahinoon nga kinsa man ang akong pamilya. Ug gihay nung gitudlo ang mga tao nga nag-alirong kaniya. It started that way, very awkward. Pero no kabantay mo, kung naminaw sila pag-ayo sa iyang declaration, for sure, the story ended beautifully. Why? The family of the Lord felt relieved. Why? Mas gitagaan sila og bili. Mas gitagaan sila og nindot nga kahulugan in relation to His ministry. I hope and pray we begin to see our families that way. Our families are important. They are valuable for as long as these families remain obedient to the will of God. Because the time will come when we have to turn our back on our families, when this would prevent us from doing God's work. Ask religious sisters, ask priests, ask missionaries about their experiences of their respective families. And many of them would tell you, despite opposition, despite begging, they chose to follow the Lord.